King Charles's body language speaks volumes in new photo with Queen Camilla. Body language can tell you a lot about how members of the royal family are really feeling, whether they're leaning on a relative for support or making nervous hand gestures. Even King Charles couldn't hide behind his nonverbal cues during his latest outing. This week, the 76-year-old monarch attended a special reception at Clarence House in honor of his wife, Queen Camilla, and the launch of the Queen's Reading Room Medal. I immediately noticed that King Charles's body language looked different. There was a major shift in his usual relaxed posture. I couldn't tell if his stiff demeanor was due to the formality of the event or if he was simply letting Camilla take the spotlight. Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. So, I asked ChatGPT, a type of artificial intelligence, to analyze the below photo, and I have to admit, I was seriously impressed by the results. According to the AI tool, King Charles was observant if a bit formal throughout the reception. It said, King Charles' body language in this image conveys a mix of attentiveness, reservation, and perhaps mild discomfort. It also explained the hidden meaning behind King Charles's hand placement and how it likely indicates one of two things: composure or discomfort. Considering His Majesty's loving gaze towards his wife, I think it's likely the former. His hands are in his pockets, which can indicate composure and patience, the chatbot explains. He may be maintaining a calm, observant stance. Equally interesting was the tool's take on the royal's placement in the room. He stands slightly behind Camilla, allowing her to take the central role in the moment. This suggests he is there in a supportive capacity rather than as the main speaker. The AI technology noted that King Charles's body language can be interpreted in many ways. For example, signs of nervousness, i.e., putting hands in pockets, don't always symbolize discomfort. Perhaps the monarch was so focused on supporting his wife by being an attentive listener that he merely appeared to be tense in the moment. King Charles's body language in this image suggests that he is present and attentive but slightly detached, ChatGPT concluded. His reserved posture, hand placement, and neutral facial expression indicate a composed, observant demeanor rather than active engagement. This could be a reflection of his usual reserved nature or the formality of the event. Not bad for a chatbot. My take on it? I think that the royal was aware that this was Camilla's moment to shine, and so he did his best to take a backseat. King Charles turning royal residence with poignant link to William and Kate into a cash cow. King Charles is hoping to cash in by opening another royal residence to the public. It has been claimed by a royal expert. Brits will get a look behind the doors of St. James's Palace for the very first time, giving them opportunity to enjoy the historic Tudor architecture, as well as paintings and furniture from the royal family's own collection. The building has witnessed some of the most important events in royal history, including the formal Ascension Committee when Charles became king on the death of Queen Elizabeth II. The palace was also where Prince William and Kate Middleton had photos taken to announce their engagement in 2010. King Charles lists favorite tracks from exceptional Beyoncé and Kylie Minogue on Royal Playlist. The king has shared some of his most loved songs as he hailed Beyoncé as exceptional, and revealed his favorite Kylie Minogue track on his new online radio show. Charles has showcased 17 of his favorite songs by artists like Michael Bublé, Bob Marley, and Diana Ross on Apple Music to mark Commonwealth Day. The monarch praised the incomparable Beyoncé, congratulating her on her first Album of the Year Grammy as he selected her 2003 hit Crazy in Love as one of his top tracks. Charles described her as a performer so exceptional that I just could not resist including her music, and said she was featured to showcase an iconic musical moment from the many events which have supported my trust's work for young people over all these years. Beyoncé, who will bring her Cowboy Carter tour to London this June, performed Crazy in Love at the Prince's Trust Fashion Rocks concert in 2003, the year the single was released. Charles meets Beyoncé during the Fashion Rocks for the Prince's Trust event at the Royal Albert Hall in 2003, where she performed Crazy in Love, Archive PA Archive, as he introduced the track. He told listeners, "Therefore here is one of the Trust's most faithful supporters, the incomparable Beyoncé with the song Crazy in Love. And incidentally, I would like to congratulate her for winning her first Album of the Year Grammy." As Charles introduced Kylie Minogue's song Locomotion, he described it as music for dancing and said again, "It has that infectious energy which makes it, I find, incredibly hard to sit still." The Australian icon Kylie Minogue also got the royal seal of approval, as Charles selected her song Locomotion to be on his list. He introduced the song as music for dancing and said again, "It has that infectious energy which makes it." Another hit recommended by the King for dancing was Diana Ross's Upside Down, with Charles confessing it was absolutely impossible not to dance to the former Motown singer's track when he was a younger man. Reggae star Bob Marley's contribution to society away from music was highlighted by Charles before his song Could You Be Loved was played. Bob Marley would have been 80 this year. "I remember when he came to London to perform when I was much younger, and I met him at some event. That marvelous, infectious energy of course he had, but also his deep sincerity and his profound concern for his community." The King, who recorded the broadcast at Buckingham Palace, added, "I always recall his words that people have a voice inside them. He gave the world that voice in a way that no one who heard could ever forget." He also remembered his grandmother, the Queen Mother, playing one of her favorites, Ul Bowley singing The Very Thought of You from the 1930s, and described how music from that period never fails to lift my spirits. King Charles' busy schedule at 76 could be threatening his health. At 76, King Charles has been making increasingly frequent comments about his declining activities, sharing late last year that he has too many injuries to continue riding horses, while last week he admitted that skiing is now behind him. "As humans, we're not designed to be constantly busy or for our brains to be functioning 24/7, cautions life coach Julie Leonard. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.